Hi, I'm John Kenfield from the Solutionist group, and this is another in our series of video blogs titled 50 Common Causes of Conflict in Family Business and What to Do About Them. This is video number 31, talking about decision making in the family and in the business. When we talk about decision making, we're talking about decisions that are important for whatever reason. They may be important commercially, they may be important strategically over the long term, they may be an immediate operational decision, they may be have a personal effect and no commercial effect. But they are decisions that need to be made, and as Henry Ford once said, you haven't got to get every decision right, but you need to get a lot more right than you get wrong, or you're in trouble, or something along those lines. Yet it's remarkable how many large, sophisticated, successful families do not have anything that could be identified as a consistent form of decision-making process. This can translate into a lack of predictability in decision-making, and ultimately it can lead to poor decisions being made, where perhaps in the past these were decisions that were not open to anybody's scrutiny. Beyond a certain point in time, the business becomes more complicated. Owners get to a point in their lives where they cannot make the same autocratic off-the-cuff decisions that they made perhaps instinctively, perhaps after rapid thinking, in the earlier stages in their careers. Not only does the business or the family require more information, more forethought, more balance in the process, but also other stakeholders, for example, senior executives, want to be involved in decision making if they're going to be held accountable for the consequences of those decisions. That all leads us to having a process that enables decision making to follow a predictable course, which is likely to result in a wise decision, possibly not the right decision, but at least a wise decision based on all of the available information at that time, put through a rigorous process before committing to a solution. The big thing about decision making is do not jump to solutions. So if we're talking about strategic decisions in either the family or the business, these are bigger, longer term decisions. They cannot be safely made without contemplation of all the elements, and all the elements usually will involve inputs from other people gaining other perspectives as well as objective information. The lack of a process, or having a process and failing to follow it, is a major common cause of conflict in families and in businesses. So what can you do to avoid the sort of conflict that arises? Number one, develop and commit to a problem-solving and decision-making process. And once you've done that, make sure that every significant decision made in the future has been run through that process. Now, in a family context, that seems quite weird because most families do not have very formal decision making. However, when their situation is complicated by the existence of a family business, the family must act in a more professional way, which is an argument we raised many times through the course of these videos and others. When we take a family through problem solving and decision making, which when we first started doing it something like 20 years ago, we thought would be an insult to everybody's intelligence, we found that it takes less than a half day to get the family to understand, approve, and adopt a problem solving process that will help all future problem solving activities. And attached at the end of that is a decision-making process which delivers an outcome, which may involve voting or things of that sort, subject to a set of rules. Perhaps one of the most important things is once you have put a system in place, you can put in some rules for enforcement of that system. So no more unilateral changes of important decisions made and then ignored. That is a huge cause of conflict in many families and in many businesses, and particularly in many family businesses, which is best avoided if at all possible. Formal decisions once made should be documented, and everybody should be circulated. Very easy to do these days with emails. In a business context, it's a good thing to have a minute of a meeting or a note of a meeting to record the decision. That decision should only then be changeable on the basis that a similar process is adopted and followed to review and revise an earlier decision. Anything less than that, just like the law of contract, is not acceptable. If you found this video useful, please share it with your friends. Please take a look at the other videos and like them within the series. And please come back. Thank you.